G5 played. H4, excellent move by Wei. Another beautiful move found by him. Takes. Gukesh down to 2 seconds, I guess. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Rook G6 attacking G2 pawn. Check. King goes up. Because you couldn't go back. There would have been a discovered check. Rook comes back, defending the G2 pawn. And he goes back with his rook. Big problems for Gukesh. His king is almost in the mating zone here. Rook E6 played. If take Rook G2, there is check here. He goes Bishop D7. Attacking the rook. Check. Bishop F5. G3 played. Beautiful move. Rook takes G3 is met with Grandmaster Wei makes his way to the board here. He is a killer at the Armageddon format. He's beaten Magnus Carlsen in round 4, in round 3, then Hikaru Nakamura in round 4, and now faces the world champion Gukesh. Their classical game was a very topsy-turvy encounter where Wei was close to winning and then got outplayed, and then Gukesh was completely winning, and then he lost his win, and then the game ended in a draw. So right now both players have come to the board with quite a lot of baggage, I must say, but I would say Wei might be the one who has slightly more positive energy flowing through him, because he was the one who was lost at the end and then managed to salvage the draw. Gukesh has to be mentally very strong here to come back, and you can see him adjusting his pieces. It's a Cree game. 10 minutes for Wei, 7 for Gukesh. And we are ready to get going. Gukesh calms himself down. The arbiter asks them to start the clock. And there we go. Wei plays E4 and Karo Khan is on the board. Actually, they play the same line that was played in their classical game. That's very interesting. Who's going to come up with the new idea here? Bishop D6, short castle. We are still following that. Rook E1 also was played castles, and now Wei had played C4, but actually goes for knight G5. And Gukesh is prepared with knight F5 here. The queen comes in, threatening mate in 1. Very direct approach at 6. Knight comes back, and this is Wei's prep here. G6 hitting the queen. The queen has to move away. Queen H3 and H5. It does feel like Gukesh's position is very cool, but knight jumps in, preventing E5 and the bishop opening up. And now the best move is king G7. Maybe future you want to play F6, defending G6. Bishop takes E5, D takes E5, and F6 now played by Gukesh. F6 strikes the center, and now Wei has a decision to make. How does he continue? Because after E takes F6, Gukesh wants to take with the queen. He chops off the knight, pawn takes, and now queen G3, a very classy move attacking the G6 pawn. Gukesh goes with his king to H7, and Wei now takes the pawn on F6. You can see all the dark squares have become tremendously weak here in this position, and Gukesh is in big trouble right out of the opening. He's not played this opening so well, and Wei now bishop G5, F4 played, queen H4, and the queen moves to the F5 square. Gukesh is fighting back, but let's see. Queen G4, he wants to trade the queens, and rightly so, because the black king is a bit weak here. And maybe now knight can come to F3. He plays it so that after queen takes queen, you take back with the knight. Now, black's problems are that this pawn on D5 is weak. White has the open file. The pawn on F4 is also weak. So all these are big problems for Gukesh. He goes bishop D7, rook jumps here, and Gukesh is trying to trade pieces. He takes on E8, takes on E8, and now a very key moment in the game. Wei has 6 minutes 53 seconds. Gukesh has threats of rook E2, and nice move H3 found after nearly 2 minutes of thought. Now you are attacking the D5 pawn. Gukesh comes in with the threat of taking the pawn on B2, and now Wei can actually capture the pawn on D5 because the bishop is hanging. Bishop goes to E8. If you had come forward, I would have gone rook D6. You still couldn't have taken the pawn. And now this beautiful move B4, so that if rook takes A2, I have B5, And once the knight moves away, I have rook e5 attacking here. It's such a powerful way to play. a6 played here by Gukesh. Now Wei is a pawn up, and he can actually decide to save the a2 pawn, or he can simply pick up the f4 pawn. He takes it. Bishop takes f4. Gukesh gets back one of his pawns, knight f3. One thing that is in black's favor slightly is the opposite colored bishops. If Gukesh can manage to stabilize his position, he has some drawing chances here, and all that he needs is a draw. He has 2 minutes 58 seconds. Time wise, really, he has narrowed down the time difference. Wei is down to 3 minutes 52 seconds. Bishop e3 played. And now Gukesh brings his king to f7. There you see Gukesh trying to look at how many moves have been done. Right now we are at move 33. So 7 more moves to make before 1 second increment kicks in. King e7 attacking the rook. Wei. Now you can see here, this is defended on g6. Not an easy position. He goes rook d5. A good move. King comes up to e6. Gukesh speeding up here. Rook goes to g5 and knight e7. Another nice move. Black is within the drawing margins now. It looks good for black. How is Wei going to continue now? The threat is knight f5 to chop off this bishop. He plays knight to b3. I think a good move, so that when knight f5 comes, you have knight d4 check, and then you have trades. Knight f5 played. And there is knight d4 check. And now takes, bishop takes. The position is now really good chances for Gukesh, because some trades have happened. If he can retransfer the bishop here to f5, that could mean something. Rook d5 played. And maybe you want to get your bishop rook back into the game. Bishop e3, he stops it. Bishop comes to c6. And he keeps his rook on d6 so that the g6 pawn is under pressure. I don't know how Gukesh wants to play. Maybe a good idea is rook g1. No, rook e2. Maybe waste of time. Rook g1 forcing f3, coming back, and then getting the rook back. Might have been a good idea. King g3. Okay, now maybe rook e1, rook g1. Still not a bad idea to try. Let's go. Gukesh, you can see, is getting nervous because he has 1 minute 9 seconds. Wei has 1 minute 33 seconds. Getting intense here for Gukesh. It's not easy to find the next moves. Rook c2, maybe there is just bishop d4. He plays rook e1. 46 seconds for Gukesh. You can see he's getting visibly a bit shifty there. Rook d8, good move. Now rook g1. But he goes rook e2. He's waiting here. And the thing is, white can improve his position. That's what, rook h8. Beautiful move by Wei. He's coming from here. He's going to use his bishop here. And Gukesh is running low on time. 41 seconds. Check here. Wei, super calm, super composed. King e6. And now you can go rook g7 check, so that the king can no longer defend the pawn from... It has to come to f5. Yes, rook g7. Good move. All of a sudden, Wei is now winning. Gukesh goes king f5. And bishop d4. Another nice solidifying move. The rook can go back now to defend the pawn on g6. He can do that. He's thinking about it. Look at Gukesh there. 35 seconds. He's running. His clock is running down. Wei has 1 minute 6 seconds. He brings his rook back with 17 seconds on the clock. And now this move, f3. To just blunt this bishop on this diagonal makes a lot of sense. And later you could try to sort of weave some kind of a mating net with king h4 and g4 and stuff like that. Actually, f3 also prepares rook f7 check when the king's very important squares are taken away. And you know, g5 will remain, but you can even take it away with h4. So Gukesh goes rook d6. Should we go h4 here? Is it a possible move? Oh, there's rook d7 threatened. That's the smart idea that Gukesh has. He wants to trade rooks with 8 seconds on the clock. Wei has 46 seconds. Needs to make his next move. He goes rook e7. Good move. If rook d7, he wants to come up with rook e5. g5 played. h4. Excellent move by Wei. Another beautiful move found by him. Takes. Gukesh down to 2 seconds, I guess. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Rook g6 attacking g2 pawn. Check. King goes up. Because you couldn't go back. There would have been a discovered check. Rook comes back, defending the g2 pawn. And he goes back with his rook. Big problems for Gukesh. His king is almost in the mating zone here. Rook e6 played. If take rook g2, there is check here. He goes bishop d7. Attacking the rook. Check. Bishop f5. g3 played. Beautiful move. Rook takes g3 is met with rook f5 and resignation by Gukesh. What a game by Wei Yi. What a player Wei Yi is. Beating Magnus Carlsen, then Nakamura, and now Gukesh. He's surely the Armageddon king in this tournament until now. He's playing brilliantly. And while the classical game has ended in a draw, the Armageddon goes in the favor of the Chinese #1 player Wei Yi.
Wei Yi, another day, another Armageddon, another top player in the world. You just defeated. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think, of course, it's nice to, after you beat the world champion, but I'm not satisfied with my performance in the classical game, because I think after the opening, I got some big advantage, but then I think I missed some chances to win. But okay, then luckily I survived the hopeless end again. Yes, but I think I should do better in the classical.
Tell us about your strategy in Armageddon. What is it that you are doing that other players can't?
No, I'm not sure, but I just try to play best moves. But I think after first 3 Armageddon games, I think maybe I did better in time management. Yeah.
Are you gaining more confidence as the rounds are going on and you're winning these tough time pressure Armageddon games?
Yes, I think of course I got more confidence, but there's still some tough games to go, I think.
Right. And yesterday was a rest day. We saw you had a lot of fun. Which was your favorite activity?
The axis throwing.
Ah, you enjoyed that?
Because I got 15 points.
15 points. Oh wow. Oh wow. Do you think that rest days like that, where you don't have to think about chess, really helps?
Yes, I think it's good, because every day you face strong opponents, you have to think your strategy. But yesterday, no, I didn't want to think about that.
Right. Great performance today. Once again, all the best for the rest of the rounds.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Do I get there? Is he there?
My horse helped you to take my horse to the tour. I noticed that you didn't say thank you to the horse.
Because